My brother or my girlfriend? Hello all, thanks in advance for reading. I'll try to keep things as short as possible. 28M. Just broke up with my girlfriend, 28F. For a couple of reasons, but the main one was my brother. My girlfriend and I have been together for 3 years. I have 2 children and went through a very contentious custody battle with my ex-wife. Between working, school and COVID, I needed extra help and my brother came to stay with us for this reason. We live in a 2-bedroom condo with 2 entrances. Since we only use one, and the other has a enclave that is relatively secluded, we turned it into a makeshift bedroom for my brother. My brother is 26 and has some cognitive issues. He is a very sweet, chill guy but is limited to barely a 6th grade level. He can't keep a job and spends most of his time playing video games but does whatever he can to help out around the house when asked. The problem my girlfriend has with him is that he is an adult and basically, mooching off of me. To help him and make her feel like he is making headway, I helped him enroll in community college. He failed the only 2 classes he had this last semester. On top of that, my girlfriend feels that he is no longer needed and that because he does things like use items and doesn't let us know, plays video games too much, and infringes on her ability to walk around the home as she pleases, in just a towel or just a robe, he needs to leave. I recognize that the situation is not ideal and I feel that with the right social programs and a part-time job, he can live on his own. But as of right now he has nowhere to go. 2 weeks ago, I also let her know that my mother left me a note before she died which told me to take care of him because of his condition. At the same time I let her know that I would look into social services for him. Unfortunately, my girlfriend and I were both sick for the last 2 weeks and I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. A few days ago, I get a call from my ex-wife letting me know that I'd need to pick up my kids from her state, 2 hours away, due to her mother being sick. Her mother handles pickups and drop-offs. My girlfriend hates my ex-wife for a host of reasons and tells me that she should figure out transportation for the kids on her own. I initially oblige but after thinking about it, and out of consideration for my ex-mother-in-law, I decide that being sick and having 2 energetic children running around would be too much for anyone. The next day, I talk to my girlfriend about it and she doesn't like my decision. We argue about it and then she brings my brother into the situation and says that she doesn't have control over anything. I try my best to include her in all decision making so this hits me off guard and I ask her, really? Don't you think that's a little hyperbolic? And this causes things to devolve even more. We argued most of the car ride to get the kids until I decided to not engage her anymore. Things did not get discussed again until today, at which time my brother came up again. After having just told her the plan 2 weeks ago, her knowing about the letter from my mother and me being sick since we talked, I get extremely irritated about her unchanged persistence with my brother and tell her that, if she's making me choose between her and him then I have to choose him. This goes over like you'd expect. Do you think I was wrong in my choice? How is this even a question? You take care of your damn brother and kick this girl to the curb. She doesn't want you to pick up your own kids? She gotta go. Her animal pees on you and you were going to buy a new house just to accommodate her family. She has plenty of control, she's just selfish. Next. Sounds like her leaving is the best thing at this point, unfortunately. Your brother obviously needs support and it sounds like you're happy to provide it. Good for you, that's your family. Sounds like your ex-girlfriend wants you to ditch your brother right this second and isn't willing to compromise or even give you time to put something in place to get him outside support. She seems selfish, she's willing to have you buy a house for her family members to move in, but doesn't want your brother around. Also they're your kids, of course you're gonna pick them up. It's not grandma's job, it's yours and your ex's, it's just something helpful grandma does. And this time your responsibility fell on you, which is totally fine and understandable. If grandma wasn't around, you'd have to do it anyways. Your brother and your children are your package deal. Some women would be totally okay with that. She is not. Looks like you like being a good brother, son and father, keep at it. Don't compromise. She has points but so do you. Should have compromised. I think if you want to continue to support your brother then the only compromise is that your girlfriend moves out. You can still be in a relationship but live separately. It doesn't have to be all or nothing if you want to make it work. What does your gut tell you? Are you feeling devastated at the idea of her leaving and scrabbling around trying to find ways to keep her, or do you feel deep down inside a sense of relief that this is one more area of stress that you don't have to deal with? That will be your ultimate answer. Honestly, it's better you found out now that she didn't want any part of your package deal. It's a bit odd that she's been with you for 3 years and she wasn't ready for this possibility. Of course you're responsible for your special needs brother if he doesn't have anyone else. Of course you're responsible for your kids if your ex needs help with their care. It would also go a long way in helping your custody arrangement. You made the right choice, she's just the wrong girl. Considering calling off my wedding. I 34, I'm considering calling off my wedding with my 34, fiancé. A lot of things have led up to me considering this. We have been together for a year, got engaged after 4 months. As the days get closer to our October wedding, I have been focusing on a lot of situations that have happened between us. For one, she puts no effort into a relationship with my family. She talks about how much she loves them constantly but doesn't put any effort into spending time with them, getting to know them, or engaging with them. Meanwhile, I always go to her parents, have great relationships with her aunts, cousins, and grandma. When she first moved in, she left her phone out and there was a text to her friend saying, "He's not the love of my life, but he's good to me." That really bothered me. She did apologize for this. Again, when she first moved in, her ex was texting her and one night she texts him to get closure about why their relationship ended. Promising to never do it again, which she hasn't. She also wants to move to another state in a few years. One time we went to visit her family, whom I all love and interact with. Anyway, she wanted to go look at a house for sale. I replied, "We are not moving here for a few years as we need to save." She replied, "Well, don't waste mine and my sister's time." Her sister is a real estate agent. The way she says things are rather straightforward and to the point, and I am a sensitive guy. So I take these things to heart. I've spoken with her before about how she says things to me to no avail. One time we were talking about what we do with health insurance and I said, "I don't know much about it, let me ask my mom or dad." She said, "You need to stop relying on your mom so much." Meanwhile, that day she had asked her mom to call her car insurance provider because she doesn't understand car insurance. There's been a few other instances where she has spoken down to me. One time again when we were visiting her family, her sister commented, "How do you talk to him sometimes?" Or her mom saying, "She is mean." When I try to express my feelings to her about something she said to me, I say it in a calm way and she usually rolls over in bed and doesn't want to hear it and gets agitated. One such time was when my 4-year-old niece came upstairs to visit us. She said hi to my fiancé and she said hi back. Then my fiancé went into the bedroom and stayed there, completely ignoring my niece who sat on the couch wanting to play. I spoke to my fiancé about this afterward, saying it really bothered me, and she said, "That's not what happened. You're pissing me off." She is very critical, always has a comment, throws old arguments back into my face, and expects me to do everything. Am I merely just harping on the past? Are these things I should move on from, or is this my heart telling me something isn't right? He's not the love of my life, but he's good to me. That should tell you all you need to know, brother. Have some self-respect. Call the wedding off. This is insane. You don't even know someone after 4 months. I think your heart is telling you something. This is someone you're trying to spend forever with and she's already showing red flags. Forget what your heart is telling you. Read the words you wrote. I think you already know the answer. Best of luck to you, I mean that sincerely. Call it off. He's not the love of my life, but he's good to me. Nothing you say after this shows that she now thinks of you as the love of her life, and I doubt it's going to change. You are reliable. Getting engaged so quick always makes me skeptical. Getting married when she treats you like crap will be a mistake. Wow. That is why you should wait before you decide to marry someone. Your rose-tinted glasses are coming off. You're red-ifing your relationship. You're only now getting to know her for who she truly is. At least pause any wedding plans and see where things develop with her. Marriage is not gonna fix things. From what you're saying, she is not a good match to you. Her communication hurts you. The effort she puts into the relationship does not equal what you put in. Family values don't align and her plans for the future are not what you want. Please, whatever you do, don't marry her as long as these issues are not fixed. Please end it. This would be a tragic mistake. I think you guys rushed into getting engaged way too soon. You're still in the stage of figuring out who this person really is, and from the sounds of it, she's not that crazy about you and you're seeing all the red flags. You should call it off before any serious planning goes into the wedding. Husband neglected my cat when I was away. Hi Redditors. And #X200B. I need outsider input on this matter. Not sure if it is legit for me to be so angry or if I'm overreacting. My husband and I have been married now for 3 years and 1 year ago I adopted a cat. which is mainly my responsibility all the time, but he does love her and looks after her when needed, or so I thought. 2 weeks ago I traveled a 3.5 hours plane trip away to visit my parents, and my husband agreed to look after the cat while I am away. All good up to here. He had been waiting for months to complete a project of his that is very important for him. He decided to finalize it while I was away, and he had to travel 6 hours away on car for this. Last Sunday evening he finished work. He works shifts and can work any day of the week depending on that, and told me he will start organizing his trip to this other city in the country. I thought, cool. I guess he will start the journey tomorrow, Monday, and didn't worry to ask about anything else until later that night. I asked him 2 hours later how the organization was going and if he was leaving the next day. He didn't reply until 2 hours after that. I am already halfway to the other city. And #X200B. I was in shock, asked him, what about the cat? Oh, I left a lot of water and food for her, she will be okay. To this I said, but when are you coming back? Didn't you ask someone to check on her? He says, it isn't necessary, I should be back by Tuesday or Wednesday the latest. And #X200B. On Tuesday I ask him how his project is going, and it sounds like there's still a lot to do, and I realize he asked for Wednesday and Thursday off work in case he didn't make it in time. And #X200B. After much agony and asking him why he would leave my cat who I left under his supervision completely alone for over 3 days without consulting with me at all. I am so furious and feeling so powerless. Yesterday I was about to buy plane tickets to cut my stay with my parents short and go back to my poor kitty. And #X200B. He assured me I was worrying way too much and that he would go back last night. Lies again. He only started his 6-hour journey back today, and by then my cat will have been totally unsupervised for 4 days and a half. And #X200B. Do you think he was okay to leave my cat alone for that long without consulting with me? That I am overreacting to this situation? And #X200B. It feels to me like I can never trust him again with anything important, as he can let me down like he did now. And #X200B. If you read all this, thank you for your attention. I'd be grateful for some impartial opinions on this. Is the cat okay? If this were his cat it would be bad. The fact that someone asked him to look after it makes it way worse. Now it's not just animal neglect, but also broken trust. And it's even worse that it's your husband who broke this trust, the person you should be able to count on the most. To be honest, I find it really odd as well that it's your cat, and not his as well, but that's besides the point. You're not overreacting at all. That was totally shitty thing for him to do, and I wouldn't trust him either. That poor cat didn't know how long he was going to be and couldn't ration her own food or clean her litter box. If she got sick she couldn't take herself to the vet. She was relying on him and he let her down. And he let you down, too. Plus all the lying, he knew he was doing something bad. Oh hell nah. He showed you that he can't be trusted to keep his word or to do the bare minimum to take care of a living creature other than himself. Even if the cat is perfectly fine, his blatant disregard or concern for the cat's welfare is a major red flag. Definitely not an overreaction on your part. He is a piece of shit who doesn't care about you or what is important to you. No decent person does this to an animal, let alone the pet of someone they claim to love. These are the actions of a petty, jealous man. Do not have children with this man. Do not leave him alone with your cat. This man couldn't give less of a shit about you. He asked for the extra time off, so this was totally planned. Do you think he was with another woman? It's rare even on Reddit that you see such a total disregard for someone's feelings as this man has shown. Did he want the cat? Was he hoping it would die? You have every right to be upset. And I hate to break it to you, but he does not love the cat. If he loved the cat he would have realized that a pet that is used to 2 people being around shouldn't be left for this amount of time. Also, he probably didn't even leave enough food and water. He also doesn't even want to know why you're upset, and it's brushing things off. And lied. Maybe not intentionally, and maybe he hoped he can finish things much faster than he actually did, but I also find it really weird he chose to leave town when you're also away. And why in such a hurry? Why not tell you about his plans? This at best is really impossible, and at worst it's really suspicious. Honestly, I would divorce over this. I value animals over people though, because they need us and should never be neglected. Has he ever had a pet before? This makes me feel so concerned for the kitty cat. I feel like this is a red flag, animal abuse and animal neglect. Significant other invented a fake life online to flirt. My husband, 34M, and I, 31F, have been married for 5 years, together for 8. We generally are pretty open with each other. When one of our phones is Mia or low battery, we just grab the other person's. It's never been an issue before, but the last month my husband was being weird and not wanting to give me his phone. The 2 times mine had low battery and I wanted to read in the car. I even told him he was being weird the one time, but he never replied and I just let the subject drop and took a nap as we drove instead. I fell asleep by accident with our toddler last night as I was putting him to bed, and didn't wake up until the wee hours of the morning. I couldn't find my phone in bed with my toddler because it was dark and I didn't want to wake him by rummaging around. And so I grabbed my husband's phone from by our bed on my way to the master bathroom to go read on our Kindle Unlimited account on the toilet. He had left his WhatsApp open. He's been flirting with another woman, and invented a fake name for himself, a fake job, which is just the career he used to have and hated before he went back to school and switched fields. Fake life. What was visible was just bizarre to me, so I scrolled through the chat instead of opening Coup. He actually talks pretty in detail about his fake life. She asks him at one point if he's married and he doesn't tell her he is. She sends video clips slowly scanning up and down her body after a workout, photos of her trying on dresses and posing seductively, and he tells her how hot she is. With lots of winky faces. And she is perfectly his type, while I know I am not. I don't think I'm a very jealous person. I know he talks regularly to several of his exes, and I don't care. He has lots of female friends, and I don't care. I very much think people can be just friends with any gender. Him talking to another woman isn't at all the problem here. But inventing a fake life that erases me and our son, and blatantly flirting with someone else bothers me. I thought we had the kind of relationship where if someone was hitting on one of us we'd tell each other and high five, not keep it a secret. I didn't keep a secret that I saw the messages. I used his phone light to find mine in our son's bed. It fell between bed and the wall, and sent him a text saying I'd seen them and was upset. He's still asleep, so he hasn't seen my text yet. I'm just really sad and don't know where to go from here, and now I can't fall back asleep. So he cheated on you, emotionally. He is emotionally cheating on you and catfishing someone else. You have a right to be upset. If you want to stay together and work things out, he needs to be honest about what drove him to this route. You may even want couples counseling. Also, he needs to tell that other woman the truth or just delete the app altogether if he doesn't want the backlash from her. This is an emotional affair. It's the exact definition. This is cheating, whether there was in-person contact or not. This is a divorce-worthy act. He won't see it that way, but how would he act if he knew you had done the same thing? How would he feel then? Do not let him get a pass on this. Literally no part of it is okay, and it is not okay for your relationship. I'd call him all the way out, and I'd also message the women he's cheating with telling her that he's used a fake name and career etc. Personally, I think it's completely pathetic to create an entire fake person to manipulate women, behind your so's back no less. He deserves a life lesson he won't forget. Wow, I thought this was going to be some story about someone finding their significant other on BitLife. He's cheating on you. I'm sorry. I'm literally going through this exact situation. Found out last night. It just feels like such a betrayal and I feel heartbroken. He's still asleep, so we haven't talked about it yet. I wrote a series of texts to express my feelings, how betrayed I feel. The new fears that this has triggered, like has he been doing this for the whole 9 years we've been together with other people? I'm the type of person who cries anytime I get emotional, whether it's mad, sad, happy or whatever, so I knew that writing out my feelings would be better than me trying to say it face to face. I'm very sorry. I consider this emotional cheating, and whether anything physical happened or not, it has completely destroyed all trust I have in him, and I'm not sure where to go from this. Go and send the files to yourself. Don't minimize this. He is emotionally cheating on you and going very far in it. He might just as well already physically cheated on you in the past too.